Right, so anyway, yeah, let's get back to business. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking into this, into the floods and that, and along the way, obviously, I've always said I don't believe in chemtrails. I've always said that, I say about it all the time. I even made videos a couple of years ago proving what I thought that, what people think that are chemtrails coming out the back of the engines of the aeroplanes. It's just contrails. It's just the electric atmosphere that's been spat through the turbines. So the turbines take in the electric atmosphere and they spit out the condensation. Our lungs do exactly the same. What we see that the turbines are doing up there on the aeroplanes, that's taken from our lungs, because our lungs do exactly the same thing. It's nature, it's natural, it's nature, and I've talked about mountains before, like the Matterhorn mountains, Matterhorn trees, Matterhorn mountains. They're the same as our lungs and turbines. The Matterhorn tree, the Matterhorn mountains, automatically takes in the electric atmosphere. Remember, we have an electric atmosphere. This is what they're hiding anyway, the electric atmosphere. So the Matterhorn takes in the electric atmosphere and spits out the condensation. The trees do this. I've showed videos of it. You can go online and you can see this. They ingest the electric atmosphere and they push out the condensation. The same as what we do. We're electrical beings. That's what our lungs are. Our lungs are turbines to work for electricity for us for breathing and controlling the breathing and stuff like that. It's all down to our lungs, which is electrical, like the electrical turbine. So on a very cold morning, crisp morning, you can actually teach yourself to do it as well. There's a way of doing it, of spitting out like an exhaust. We can all do it. You do it clearly in the winter times. Fresh mornings, you get that all the time. But you can actually do it with your lungs. You can mess around with your lungs and you can actually extract an electric cloud out, like an electric cloud, the same as what you see in the atmosphere. So I've never believed in chemtrails. I never have. I believe in contrails that are performed through the electric atmosphere, through turbines or your lungs, which are just basically turbines. Same as the Matterhorn mountains do exactly, clearly see it. Watch the videos. I've shown videos. They ingest the electric atmosphere and spit out the condensation, which is what you see. In this country, all these cross things that have been put onto social media, I've never seen them, never. Not in this country. If they're going on in other countries, film them, prove them, film them being done. And then take them chemicals live that you just filmed, then take those chemicals and put them straight into a lab and see if that's actually containing what you guys keep saying, which is barium, strontium and aluminum. But they're basically saying, and barium is not dangerous, by the way. I've already done research on barium. It's not dangerous at all. And that's just for projections onto clouds. That's all that is. Yeah, it's just the electric atmosphere, isn't it? So I don't believe in chemtrails. I don't believe in them. I never have. It's just a CIA op, another CIA information operation to fool the masses. It's a scare tactic, another scare tactic that they've used. You can go over German videos where they've actually got proof now of actually getting people now to go over their old videos, children videos, Disney videos, and then draw in chemtrails. People got paid a lot of money, millions of pounds to do that, or dollars to do that, to go over old videos and then add chemtrails into them, to make out there was chemtrails back in them days, which there weren't. It's all false, as CIA ops. I don't believe in chemtrails. I don't think we're being poisoned at all. Absolutely not. Like I said, I wouldn't, talk about the tinfoil hat and that again. I said I'd leave them alone, so I'm going to stick to my word. I will leave them alone. And all the guests that I just kept going over and over, all that was just me annoying Johnny and Sam Tripoli. That's it. So I said I wouldn't do that anymore. I can't be bothered to do that anymore anyway. I've got things to do myself. By going on and keep going on about their rubbish all the time, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's putting out information. So that's what I'm going to get back to. Then we'll leave them alone. As long as they stick to their word, absolutely fine. I'll stick to mine. So I'm not going to go over their guests. So there's a couple of guests I want to talk about now. You know, I want to talk about Jim Lee, I do, but I said I wouldn't do that anymore. I also want to talk about their last guest, which is Owen Benjamin's friend. What's his name? His name's Christopher or something. Can you 1 second? But again, I said I wouldn't talk about this stuff anymore. Christopher Gardner. Yeah, I like Christopher Gardner. But again, you know, I want to talk loads about Christopher Gardner, but I said I wouldn't do it anymore. So he was on the tinfoil hat. But I said I wouldn't do this anymore, so I'm not going to bother. But I really want to talk about Jim Lee. I really want to talk about Christopher Gardner too. I like Christopher Gardner. Jim Lee. No, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I said I wouldn't do it. So I said I'd leave him alone, so I'll leave him alone. As long as they stick to their word. But yeah, so look, I've never believed in chemtrails. I don't believe in them, never will believe in them. And when they have people like these guests on, they talk about everything else, absolutely everything to do with weather modification, moving tornadoes, which I've talked about many, many times. But yeah, they didn't talk about chemtrails, did they? Just leave it there. But I don't believe in chemtrails, so yeah, I just don't believe in them. It's the electric atmosphere that's been hidden from us, because the average person still don't understand that we're electric and the atmosphere is electric and everything is run through the ether, that we can grab a charge through the electricity through the ether as a charge in the atmosphere. People don't even know about that stuff. And the CIA want to keep that, the government, CIA want to keep that under wraps. They don't want that talked about, you know. So that's what they're hiding. They don't want you to know that everything's electric. They don't want you to know that everything that we run on are electric. Everything they told us about our internal organs don't work in the way that they told us. They work in a completely different way. They never told us that our lungs were turbines that work to breathe in the electric atmosphere. They never told us anything like that. They never taught us about that in school. They never taught us nothing about anything like that. Never taught us about the electric atmosphere, do they? Are they teaching us about the electric atmosphere in schools now? I don't know. Probably not in a physics kind of way that we know about now, that we've actually researched, because the junk we learn in school is not the same as what we're researching now. It's completely different. Everything you was taught is actually the opposite way around. It's the inversion of everything. Everything's been inverted. And like they said, they will not be happy until the general public believes that everything is actually a lie. When they get to know that everything they do know, they think it's a fact, but it's actually a complete lie. That's when they're happy. Little people like us coming along and digging it all up, you know, and let everybody, like the general public, know about this stuff. So they get to know about it. You know, why are we being charged for electricity? Crazy stuff like that. You can just go out there, like Christopher says, and build yourself a dome and do it yourself. It's pretty simple. Well, it's not simple, it's quite expensive, but it's probably going to be cheaper in the long run. Knowing you're extracting electricity from the ether yourself. And then you wouldn't need them anymore. You know, you just wouldn't need them anymore. Right, so I'm going to come back and talk about the floods tomorrow. I've had to move into another room again. Probably won't even be here for a couple of weeks before I get moved again in the hotel, because each room, other rooms, well, you can see this one hasn't been done up yet properly. It's got to be done up, and then they put another guest in here, then I get pushed into another room because of work here. It's just one of those things, and you know, the boss just wants to keep making more money from the more rooms that are being rent out to guests. You know, the more money he can make, I guess, isn't it? That's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way life goes, you know. Everything's